Hello, welcome to another episode of To Be Frank. My name is Frank Castillo. It is good to be back. Today's guest is one of my favorites, an absolute treasure, a gem of a friend. Guys, nice round of applause for the very talented Liza Treygar.
Wow, thank you. One of my first friends at the Comedy Store.
Really? Yeah.
It was you, Brian Simpson, and Steve Fury were the immediate nice people when I moved to LA.
Was
there.
Wait, I can't
And
remember.
it was the one night where I met all of you right away, and we just started smoking in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
And you've been providing me weed this whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. And then you ended up becoming real good friends with my wife. My wife loves you.
Yeah.
Because you're both huge Taylor Swift fans.
Yes. And today, you went to your first Soul Cycle.
And it absolutely
Taylor Swift Soul Cycle.
whooped my ass. I felt not embarrassed, but I was like, oh my God, it really made me realize like how fucking in shape all these other women were around me.
Well, it's, my teacher in New York always says this, but it's consistency over time. You know what I mean? Like you can't, like the reason they're all so good is they've probably been doing it for years.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how like cycling takes so much out of you, but it just doesn't show on your body like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but I do work out 3 to 4 times a week, and no, my body has not changed at all.
Well, no, I just
talking about.
I mean, in the sense of like, I looked at everyone there, and I was just like, they all were like just absolutely destroying it, and I was just like, I feel like I'm like pretty not in shape, but I know I'm out of shape. But it's like I feel like I should be able to like do this, and then I was just like getting my ass absolutely.
But would you
handed to
go
me.
back?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Also, their condition, I was inspired and blown away by their conditioning and just the stamina they all had. I was like, I just wouldn't assume that everyone had it like that. It was crazy.
We need grit, baby. And then the Taylor classes are an added twist because people are singing.
Yeah, that was fun.
And so I think about her training for Eras Tour.
Yeah.
And that's what's shocking because that's the whole thing. She ran on a treadmill for 3.5 hours and just that was her conditioning for the tour.
Oh, for the tour?
That's how she got ready.
Holy
And there's
shit.
videos of Miley and Lizzo doing songs on a treadmill, and like that's the way you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, you start to listen to like stories of like how many artists use like just the regiment and how they take care of their voice and like what they have to do to keep it going to like that place. I mean, Haley Williams from Paramore talks about it all the time, you know, the multiple surgeries she's had and then how she's still able to hit certain notes, and you're like, oh shit, that takes a lot.
Yeah, or like Ariana Grande to me is one of the best voices we have. And to do the Wicked audition, she trained, I think, for 3 months vocally. And so it's like never ending, like learning and process. I remember I was in a car once in Canada, like a black car. And we were talking and I go, you love Celine Dion? And then I went, yeah, I'm in Canada. So I brought her up and I go, God, she takes care of her voice. And the driver went, why would you say that? I go, well, you could just tell she takes care of it. Like she's older and sounds perfect. And he goes, I worked for her for years. And he goes, we all had to learn like a specific sign language. She does not talk show days.
Yeah, that's...
And he was like impressed that I knew. But it's because Mateo Lane told me.
Yeah, but I mean...
I wouldn't know all that.
It's one of those things where like people take that shit so seriously and you're like, that's so cool.
Well, and that's how Bridget Everett, she said like, that's why she started doing cabaret, because she didn't want to live that life.
Yeah.
She didn't want to live the Broadway 8 shows a week, you know, tea. And then not only that, you have to be physically fit. You have to have stamina. Yeah, and you got to get your voice.
Multiple Soul Cycle classes.
It's like a lot. Well, I sometimes will go to 2 or a 90-minute, but that's only if it's special Taylor Swift. Like, you know.
Yeah, dude, if they had an Under Oath Soul Cycle class, I would be there in a fucking heartbeat. Just straight metal, and I'm just like, rah, this is how I work
There
out.
must be a metal. I mean, I go sometimes to more hip-hop-y, but mostly it's the pop girls I go to.
Yeah.
That's what gets me the most, like, amped.
Yeah, Kim Congdon took me to a hot yoga class when I was here.
I can't do that.
That shit, I almost threw up the next day. That shit blew my mind.
It's really cool. I just need to be active music. Like even when I did yoga when I lived in LA, I did hip hop yoga. Like I can't be with my thoughts. I cannot be in a hot room slowly stretching.
I know that feeling. Yeah. That's so fucking funny.
I need to be going. But yeah, I cry. I also like the motivate. Like this dude was a little sillier. I go to one girl in particular in New York, and she just like gets my mind right in a way where I go right before I take my special. I did that. Right. And she said, like, she'll just say little nuggets or little like visuals where I'm like, yes. life-changing
Yeah,
little
would
messages.
Would you say you're a woo-woo person?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about woo-woo stuff, and like, I guess I'd be a skeptic, but I do want to believe. And that was the thing. It was so funny. It was during the Soul Cycle. I was like just in it. I had my eyes closed, and I looked up, and there was a candle in front of me, and he was just like, make a wish. And then like we both made a wish, and then I closed my eyes because I almost started fucking crying and shit. And I was just like,
Yeah, I cry in class.
yeah.
My friends though went on my birthday ride, and they said it felt like Hillsong. And Sydney was not impressed. But she gets it. Whatever gets you moving. You know, that's what they say. It's like, yeah, I just walk and I do it.
What got you into the woo woo? Is it always like a full like? Is my mom is
I think
culturally a woo woo lady?
That's what it is. I don't know the full tale, but I never met any of my grandparents. They all died before I was born. But on my mom's side, her mom was. People would come and she would read cards.
Oh,
a regular deck. Like I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of her in me, and I don't know. Someone just brought it up, like, do you feel lucky? And it's like the way people view if they aren't is what they actually end up seeing. You know what I mean?
No,
and
I
obviously
feel that.
taking away all the life stuff, but it's like I have disappointments, I have things, but I'm just always like, I don't know, I really enjoy the life that I've created.
The life that we
myself.
live and the life that we created. Yeah, it's
And I'm grateful to my parents for like their support and being able to do it. And so I just every day I can't believe I live in New York. Even just being at this festival is like we are getting paid to have a good time and hang out with our friends.
We were at the
as
pool
they
for
get us
3
drunk.
fucking days.
Yeah, pools, trips, barbecues, like hangouts. I don't know. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And the sets are so short.
Yeah. The longest I did was 25 or 20 minutes. It was great.
It's like it's really special because we're all on tour and stuff.
Yeah. The woo-woo is interesting because my mom was always a woo-woo lady, and it was very cultural for her. And like I remember she'd like growing up, we'd always talk about how she'd always be like, man, your grandma was like, she could talk to spirits and all that stuff. She was like, she'd follow the crops. Her grandma was like, she'd always say her grandma was like a Native American and stuff. And I'd be like, what? I'd never believe her. She was like, man, if you only knew our history. Like she'd always say weird shit like that. And then I remember I got my DNA test, and it was like 40 or 51% indigenous American and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So like I going through genealogy and stuff of like trying to figure out like my mom's family and like what they were like and all that jazz. And like
You
my
have
dad,
to.
yeah, my dad's family's from like Hayward, California. You know what I mean? They're fucking like Mexican Americans. But yeah, it's interesting.
No, I mean, yeah, this country wiped away the people and its history and continue to do it. So it's like, yeah, you should find out as much as you fucking can.
Yeah. My mom would always say like
special people that like, I don't know, worked the land. Like, we're one with the earth. It's cool. That's why I wanted to go to Barton Springs, because there's just something about that like cold, real water.
100%.
That feels cool, nice.
Do you feel connected to nature?
No, but like I like pretty things. I like cityscapes. I'll be honest. I'm not a camper. I like animals though. I like animals a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Are you like a zoo person?
I am. I only go to accredited zoos. I know there's a lot.
Yeah.
And I understand the issues with it too, but I do enjoy it. And I think for education and kids, and they do like help with endangered animals and mating things. And they like what I had because Mateo is famous, we got to have a behind the scenes tour of the zoo, the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah. I had my prom there.
Which is one of the top 2 zoos in the country. You know, that in Cincinnati, I always go back and forth. And I would say, the zookeepers there cared so much. And like all the animals had such unique care for themselves and their personalities within the species that like I left being like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. If you could own one animal guilt-free, what animal would you own?
Honestly, I just really want a corgi, but if we're talking...
Me too. I want a corgi so bad.
But you're such a cat guy. Are you going to ever get a corgi?
If we moved into an apartment or a place where I can have a dog, Hannah was like, we can have a dog, that's fine. And then I'm like, I told her, I was like, if we have a kid or a dog, I'm probably going to not leave the house as much. I was like, I'll still do stand-up, but just not as much. Like I was like, I would stop coming to Austin if it meant that I could have a dog.
Wow.
I know. I almost got a dog out here.
And just surprised her with it.
No, she'd have been so mad. She's like, "What are you like? I got to get back to my kid." You know what I mean? And
I do. Even when I dog sit a dog I love, I'm like, I gotta go home.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go home. I don't want them alone.
Yeah.
But I would want to get Corgi's long-term goal. I want a little idiot that I can take everywhere with me. And I will do that. They will be in a purse.
My grandma had a Chihuahua, very Mexican of her. She had a Chihuahua for the longest time, and I'm pretty sure the Chihuahua got everything in the will. But yeah, that's kind of the one thing as like a Mexican where I was like, that seems so stereotypical. And then I'm around them, I'm like, these are actually really fucking cute dogs.
They're cute.
They're cute. They're easy. They're so adorable.
Yeah, little poops. I don't want to pick up a big poop.
That's also little poops.
Because I have dogs sat for a big guy, and like truly, my hand couldn't even stretch to pick. It was like too bad. I was like, this is a nightmare.
Damn.
But Chevy's been ruining my life since the moment he was a puppy and brought in. I remember I had a dog. I had to. I got to dog sit. My friends lived in New York, and he was little. I had to walk him with a spray bottle because he would jump on people and children. It was like it was crazy. Crazy dog. And continues to be a little weirdo.
I told you about our trans cat, right?
No.
I haven't told you about our trans cat?
No.
Oh my God. I spent so much money on this fucking cat. I love him to death. So our cat kept having
urinary issues, little boy.
Yeah, so like he just would sit there and he'd start going crazy, and like he would just be in the litter box from little. We didn't know what was going on, and then we took him in, and they were like, "Oh, he's blocked." He had like his version of cat kidney stones. He has this like condition called like FICO or some shit like that, where his bladder gets inflamed and then it's hard for him to pee.
Oh, my friend's cat died from it.
Yeah, so apparently
it's like a really serious thing that happens to young boy cats.
Yeah, and that's why some cats will just eventually die, and so like if you catch it, that's what the thing is. So it happened once, and then they were like, if it happens 2 more times, you have to get this surgery. And then it happened 2 more times in 3 weeks. So they were like, you got to get this surgery. And basically the lady was like, she was like, we essentially turned him into a woman. We cut off his penis and we widened his urethral hole so we make like a place for him to pee. And I was like, oh, is he going to be able to get pregnant? And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, sorry, I was like, never mind, I'm dumb. And then my wife was like, are you fucking dumb? And I was like, sorry, I didn't know. I was trying to, she said, all right, I'm dumb. My bad. And then, so they did the whole procedure. They quoted us $20,000.
And how much was it?
Well, we went and looked around, and we found a good spot in Santa Monica. It's like this cool, like Santa Monica vet clinic. All in all, it cost us $11,000. Okay. So the surgery, I think itself was like $6,000, and then the hospitalization and everything else was like $4,000. So that was like, whew, thank God. So the surgery itself was just gonna be $20,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found another place.
Yeah, and then so I mean, all in all, I think we spent about like $16,000 on that cat.
Yeah.
And I truly love the cat, and I would have spent the same amount of money again because having my cat, like I got this guy when he was literally like we found him in a tree, and then a day later we found his brother in a car. And then we brought them both home, and then they were like pair bonded. You could tell that they look the same. They're just a slightly different color. Like they fight and they fucking hold each other.
Do you think they've discussed the surgery? Like, do you think the other cat was like, what happened?
Thor's very stoked that Loki's living their truth now. I've asked pronouns, but the cat just keeps meowing at me, so I'm just like, yeah.
Cutie.
I call her Sylvie sometimes because his name's Loki, but in the comic books there's a female Loki that's called Sylvie. So
oh my God, that's perfect.
Yeah, I was like, it literally is like on brand with the name. That's so funny.
Your dorkness is so deep.
Yeah.
I recently, it wasn't a comic book store, but it was like a graphic novel shop that I used to love in Williamsburg. And I would always go. I haven't been there in forever. I walk by and it was no longer there. And I go, oh, bummer. Kept walking. They just moved. So I enter and I'm just so pumped. I go, oh my God, when did you open? He goes, well, recently, obviously. And I go, okay, I used to go all the time. I don't live here anymore. And like, I was like, can you be any more classic comic book guy? Go fuck yourself. He gave me nothing. I go, who else is this excited for your business? I'm like so pumped. And then I ended up buying stuff. And so then he fucking tried, backpedal and be kind to me. And I would go, no, it's a little late now. Just like, I don't know. It was annoying. I would get the paper. I just like bought so much art and local zines and fun stuff from him. I'm like, no wonder you had to shut down your business. Like, you're so mean.
You're such a dick.
But when anything is like The Simpsons, it makes me happy.
Yeah, I used to work at a comic book shop in my teens.
And you were a dick or you were nice?
No, I was nice.
Like you were nice.
Yeah, I was nice. I would like help out and stuff. And that was like, My mom thinks that I wasted my time there, but I also think that's what kept me out of a lot of trouble was like, just wasn't on the streets being dumb. I was just in a comic book shop reading about fucking superheroes and shit, playing Magic the Gathering. I was the biggest nerd in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your cats are named after Marvel.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Marvel movie.
You've never seen a Marvel movie?
No. I've seen X-Men First Class.
I mean, that's the whole
I've seen
different
that.
era of Marvel movies.
I'm
But
just
yeah,
saying that's a superhero movie I saw.
Yeah.
And I saw Black Panther,
Black Panther was good.
but not
yeah.
two.
Not two? Oh, man. Black Panther was really good.
It was. I was in Winnipeg on a road date, and it was like so desolate and sad. And then it
Helped you?
was awesome. And they had Cadbury mini eggs as
Ooh.
in the kid pack. You can get a little bag
That's
of
so
those.
good.
I'm a kid pack girl.
Are you?
Yeah, I love it.
You were the one who taught me about Dave and Buster's.
Wow, I can't believe you didn't know ahead of time.
No, I mean, I know about Dave and Buster's, but I mean, about just being on the road and
yeah.
like going to Dave and Buster's and just having a fun time instead of like getting like shit faced at a bar or like doing something
you can
dumb.
get drunk at
Oh
Dave
no,
and
you can
Buster's
still
if
get
you
different,
want.
but yeah, but like you're just like it's a much more entertaining, fun time and a lot less.
And you get a workout. If you're doing hot shots, your arms will hurt. If you're throwing balls at those clowns, it's like nice.
Yeah.
You'll be sore the next day.
How much money have you spent? Do you think you spent at Dave and Buster's?
Well, Wednesdays is half price game night, but I don't really think about money. It's like I have it or I don't. Like
I'm the
just
same
kind
way.
of. It's
I'm
like,
totally the
I'm
same
gonna
way.
do it. I really don't care. I'm going to this carnival. Like I don't know. I just kind of don't care.
I'm going to this carnival.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna do it. So it doesn't.
That's I
I
think
try not to think about it.
That's, I think, the worst thing that's happened between me and Hannah because now that she has her private practice, she's gotten a lot more money. And then with the stuff that I've been able to do, I've gotten a lot more money. And now she'll look to me to be like, keep me from doing this dumb thing. And I'm like, no, you should do this dumb thing because I'm going to do a dumb thing. And I don't want you to tell me no.
Yeah, but also it's like about enjoying it, whatever.
It really is.
But I acted like this when I had a lot less money too. It's like I just did the things I could do, but I don't like to think about it.
Yeah.
But I am on my parents' cell phone bill, and that is I will be honest about that. I'm not paying for my cell phone. But so is my sister, who's 10 years even older than me. But it's just the generation. When I ask crowds, do you pay for your kid's cell phone? Most people clap. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
like
I've
a
always had to pay
traditional
for my
thing.
own cell phone.
you have to.
I've paid for my dad's cell phone.
Well, that's John Laster has a really funny joke. He had a fire and lost everything in his house, and there was a GoFundMe, whatever. And he goes, white women would just go up to him and be like, "Just call your dad." And he's like, "My dad owes me money. Like, what are you talking about?" But he would do this wand thing, and he'd be like, "Just call your dad." And yeah, obviously not for everyone. But when I ask crowds, if crowds are older, I ask, and a lot of people clap. It's kind of. It's not embarrassing. It's kind of like just of the times. We're doing worse than our parents. It is what it is.
It's so weird to, actually, I'm doing better than my parents.
I am too. My parents also worked harder for the money they had. Like sometimes I'll make money like the amount that they did. And I'm like, I really don't. My dad had to wait. He was a school bus driver. Like, geez.
Yeah.
Up at 4:45 doing all the extracurriculars, doing all the sporting events. Like, so many hours.
I remember that's also what I remember me and my aunt, and also I've had this conversation with my mom where we were just not arguing about money, but they were like, are you sure, blah blah blah, and I was like, no, it's fine. They're just like, no, I'm just blah blah. I'm like, no, and then I had to like tell them how much I made like a week ago, and just be like that, like this was a good month, like I can. Yeah. I'm not like my other cousins.
But my parents own everything. Yeah. I don't own anything.
No, my parents,
but
my dad never owned anything. Yeah.
But my parents paid out their house already, the cars, they paid for my college.
That's all Hannah's parents. I'm fucking, I think I owe a couple grand on my dad right now. I hope those bills don't come in. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's tough, but it's also, it's nice to be able to like do nice things for them.
Yeah. Yeah. But my parents won't use the stuff. They just have so much trauma. They're saving it for God knows what.
Yeah. But I mean, they have legit trauma.
Yeah. They're born, they're 87 and 79 from the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
They have Holocaust labor camp.
Yeah.
World War II, Stalin.
My mom was just a single mom, 19. That was, she was in her own labor camp.
So that's why, I'm really impressed with them. I should do more for them. Because I blew through money, I was really because my parents were so much comparing prices all day, we would go to 8 different stores, check all the prices. Where's the best washing machine? I kind of don't want to do that. So I'm careless and I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And so I regret a lot, not regret, but I wish I spent way more money or saved more for them in ways. I kind of really enjoy my life, which is why they came here. But I wish I wasn't like, I don't know. I'm like bidding on things on the internet. It's like,
What's the most ridiculous
I'm buying
thing?
Toys. I just buy toys. Like,
oh, no, I'm the same way. I spent $240 on the action figures I had when I was a child.
Yeah, I got a Nintendo Switch. That's what the little one is, right? Because I wanted to beat Super Mario 3, and I did, and it felt so good.
You're like something healed.
Because I couldn't beat it as a kid.
Yeah.
But I beat it, and then you get to start over with the unlimited P-Wings. So I did that.
Yeah.
And it felt good. But
It's
then
a good feeling.
I haven't played it again.
Yeah.
I should give it to some kid.
I give any of my old stuff to my siblings, and they lose their minds. But my mom's the only person who she does not let me go and take her out or do stuff. Or I'm like, let's go out, let me take you to dinner, and then she's like, all right, cool, let's go to Denny's or let's go to an IHOP. I'm like, what are you talking about? Let's go to a nice place. She was like, oh, a nice place. All right, well, let's go to Outback Steakhouse. And I'm just like, all right, dude, let's go to this fucking hole in the wall Chinese restaurant that we found that's fucking super good, and let me just pay for fucking
you
dinner.
had omakase last night.
Yeah.
Who'd you go with?
So just some friends of mine that live in Austin.
Okay.
And then they were just had a sponsored dinner by Kalia. Hey, shout out Kalia. And then I got to chill and do some omakase. I can't take my mom to omakase. She would be like, "Where's the cream cheese?" She just would not understand what it is.
No, so we have fancier cousins, and her wedding was $300,000 and over a decade ago. Okay, in New York City, her dress alone cost $30,000.
That's crazy.
And but she had Danielle, this fancy chef at Baloo, one of the best chefs in the world. That was the catering that they used. But because it was fancy, it was small portions. And these Russians from Brighton Beach were pissed. They were demanding more plate. They were like, what the fuck is this? Because Russian weddings, it's tons of food, family stuff, everyone's eating all night. And so their minds kind of broke.
Yeah.
They wanted more food and they couldn't get it. But they didn't understand that it was,
Yeah, it was lost on
fancy.
them. Yeah, absolutely.
It was really
my
fancy.
My wife's sister had a wedding, and the thing that I took away was they had an unlimited meatball appetizer.
Okay.
Dude, I was literally just at the bar and I was waiting for people to whenever they'd switch people, I'd go back and just be like, oh, and I was fucking the meatballs up.
I have a controversial take. I don't like meatballs.
We had this conversation. You don't like meatballs.
Yeah,
what is it about the meatball you don't like?
I don't care. I'd rather have anything else. I just don't want it.
Is it the fact that it's in a ball shape?
The food it doesn't hit. I like it's just I'd rather have I'd rather just have cheese. I don't want the meat. I'm never gonna order it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love a good meatball. I fucking, dude, Jesus.
No, most people do.
Yeah.
You're right. We did talk
But
about
also, when
this.
we were talking, as you were saying it, it's so funny because, when I said, I didn't think of it whenever I'd say the word meatball, but the way you say it with disdain, it really puts it into my head that it's a ball of meat. You know what I mean? I'm really fighting for the fact. I'm like, no, you don't like the balls of meat? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. Balls of meat are kind of weird, you know?
No, I didn't even. I guess I do have disdain.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, you really don't like men. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but what are we talking about before the meatballs, money, omakase? Okay, I just want to know.
Oh, we're talking about taking. We're talking about taking care of
I'll pay for
parents.
dinners now.
Yeah.
They just are more responsible. I don't know what to say. I just.
My parents are not. My mom's not responsible, but yeah, no, we were talking about, because she was asking me how to act or about commercial stuff, and I was like, you can do it. You can literally just sign up for the casting stuff, put your stuff up. And she goes, I absolutely do not want to be on TV or get famous. I don't need some lady to be like, oh, that lady was a fucking cunt to me at Walmart. She was like, I don't want to get recognized by some stranger I beat up. And I was like, oh my God, Mom.
No, you know what I think about? Because I was a backup nanny, so I did backup childcare for a company for years. And I do wonder if any of the kids are like, that bitch watched me. That's what I think about. I wonder if the kids will ever, I don't know. That's what I think about.
Do you have anyone from your past that's reaches out and you're like, I remember blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, but I love it. If people from my past are at my shows, I'll hang out with them after.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had some.
And it's exciting. I like seeing where everyone's at and reminiscing.
It's fun.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to party. So if I find someone, I'm like, oh, great. We could talk for hours.
Yeah, let's catch up.
Yeah.
I had a lady that.
I don't like to party. I've been drunk every night. Okay.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But I've been in bed by like midnight, 1, the latest. Like I have been really responsible because I've had full days too.
Yeah, we've
I've been
all
drinking
had
all day and night.
very full days. I've also been trying not to drink, and I think I only had one mixed drink last night at dinner, and that was nice. I called my wife; she said it was cool. But yeah, I didn't like. Every time I wanted to drink a lot this trip, and every time I wanted to drink, I'd always see someone else that was like more drunk than me, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to be that guy. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
No, I was good. I brought too many sweets, but I just wish they had.
Yeah, let's talk. All right, let's hot moon tower take. The spread was great day one, and second and third day it definitely felt like a commissary at a prison.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the party tonight is like but yeah,
like print less flyers, just get more food.
I think. Yeah, I'd like get pizzas. I was annoyed. I was like, I cannot eat bags of chips for dinner.
I had 5 Twinkies last night and 2 bags of donuts.
But I'm also a bad person, and I've had Jimmy John's twice. Like it is my favorite thing.
I was eating pretty healthy this whole weekend, and then last night I had 3 slices of pizza. And as I was ordering it, there was 2 chicks that were behind me that were really, really hot and like probably in their like maybe mid-20s, and they just looked at me and I was like, these are for other people, and they were like, oh, okay, cool, no, you're good. And then I literally started to walk out, and I'm eating 1 slice outside, and I was like, I gotta get back in the room. I can't eat all 3 out in front of they're all gonna walk out and see me. And no, I was lying.
No, who cares?
Me?
I get well, it's all perception too, because I feel if you ordered a pizza and had 3 slices, that would be like a responsible moment. But if you go to a slice place and get 3 slices, that seems psycho. You know,
that's such a then now you have the rest of the pizza when you get home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can have, and then the next day. I mean, but I actually had a really I got fucked up. I wish I remembered what the night entailed, but I just was puking all day. It was just like the worst hangover I've had as an adult, like an adult. I don't know. So since then I've only maybe had pizza once in months. It like turned me off, and pizza's the best.
Whoa.
I never really want to order it, and I've only had it once because I was like drunk again, and there's a slice place by my house.
Throwing up the favorite food is always the roughest.
But I'm trying to think what I did that night. Oh, it wasn't. It was Rosebud Baker's like Netflix screening, and the bitch is sober. So the fact that I got that fucked up is insane. Okay, it's all coming back to me. I did shows at Cipriani Club, which I guess is like it's just for oligarchs. It has oligarch vibes. It's really for the wealthy, and all the staff was like, "Let them have it." I'm like, "Don't worry." We were like me. Everyone was bonding because they were really rich. But of course, I'm gonna have Manhattans there. It's like a nice spot. Mm-hmm. And then her screening was at Soho House. So of course, I'm gonna keep the Manhattan going. They have beautiful stemware there. And then five Manhattans, and it ruined my. I had to cancel everything. I canceled podcast. I had like a full day. I had to cancel meetings. I lost money on SoulCycle. Like it truly like demolished me for days. Dude, canceled shows. Like I couldn't do anything.
A hangover in your 30s will fuck your week up, dog. It used to just fuck my mornings up. Now it's like, oh, that's one of the main reasons I don't drink anymore, because that bounce back's tough. Dude, 3 slices of pizza fucked me over like I was hungover. Like it's just
I've been
tough.
trying not to eat sweets, and
so
yesterday that was the spreads.
Yeah.
But I should have done what I wanted in my heart, which is I love fruit snacks, and should have just taken all these fruit snacks. Like I didn't really love all the pastry of it all.
It was so bad.
But I took it all.
Yeah.
And then I had a little bite of each.
Oof.
Of everything.
All right, let's get into some of these
While
questions.
I watch Top Chef. Yeah, we have to. We're going to a writing workshop.
Yeah.
And then to see John Waters.
John Waters. Oh, I love him. He used to come to the store all the time. That was one of my
Really?
favorite. That was like a highlight of mine, was when I worked there, is I'd get to go catch the John Waters show, because it was like every year it was like he did like a Christmas special at the store, and it was like, I'd heard of John Waters, and then finally to be able to watch him and be like, oh, okay. Like I appreciate gay stuff and like gay icons.
Yeah. Well, and he, for me, is also, he's Simpsons and SVU.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he also wrote.
He's the CEO of Sugar Fap on.
He also wrote an amazing movie called, I think, The Housewives of Murder or something like that.
Wait, I want to make sure it's Sugar Fap. I feel like it's not sounding right.
Yeah, I think it was like My Wife's a Murdering Psychopath or something like that, and it's like it's about a stay-at-home.
No, it's Serial Killer Mom.
Serial Killer Mom.
What? It's Kathleen Turner.
It's so good.
It's so good. I've actually only recently watched it for the first time, and I fucking loved it.
It is truly a funny, great fucking movie, dude, and I loved every second of it.
Let me make sure. Floyd, yeah, he plays Sugar Fap. I was right.
All right, so these questions are from my wife.
Someone dies or someone gets raped, on a cam, and then he goes, "It's a sad day here at Sugar Fap." Wait, let's hit the bubbler while we do therapy questions, because that's how I detach. Today was actually the first Soul Cycle in like months that I've gone not stoned.
Whoa.
I smoke in the morning right before class so I can be detached from my body, but not today. It ended up being great.
Yeah, I felt every moment of that
But
class.
it's easier here. New York is just kind of crazy. New York's psychotic. It's where it began, and these teachers are out of control. The choreo is like so active in New York.
It was so funny when we got there, and the guy goes, "So what kind of weights do you want?" And then you're like 5, and he was like, "Let's go with 2." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Wait.
It'll vibrate.
How did you? Okay, so today was Taylor Swift theme. So during the arm series with the weights, you do pretend it's a microphone and a guitar, and you sing into it.
Yeah,
and
I was like,
how did you feel about it?
I was like, "Oh my God." I felt so bad for the lady
Even
next
though
to
it's red?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I felt bad for the lady next to me because it was just like she could see me, like I was like getting into the rhythm of it, and then I have to like slow down because my leg and my ass would start to hurt. And then it got to a point where I would like every time he'd look away, I'd just kind of stop rowing and try to catch my breath. And it was just like, and then he'd come by me and it would be like,
My God, break.
yeah, dude, it was fucking up.
No, everyone's supportive. People are supportive there.
Yeah, it was so. I was just like, he was like, "How you doing, Frank?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm good."
Yeah, you got a lot of attention.
Yeah,
I got a shout out. And John Marco.
Marco's so funny. I love him.
Yeah, we went with a man who, and I agree with him. Like, I would hate to wear a shirt at Soul Cycles, but I just get
If
to wear
I
a
look like
sports
that,
bra.
yeah, I would hate to wear a shirt too.
No, it's wet. I don't know. I get it, but men aren't allowed to be shirtless in class, and it bothers him.
Because our nipples look weird.
I get it, but so he tied a belly shirt.
Yeah.
And so it was a look.
Listen, I ain't gay, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he has a good bod.
All right, if you got asked to do a TED Talk, what would you present on?
Oh, fun.
Oh, and all these questions are for my wife Hannah, dubbed the Question Master by Matt McCusker.
But a TED Talk's supposed to be helpful, right? Or it's just like a thing about a thing or it's supposed to like help your life.
It can be about whatever.
It could be about whatever. What would I do a TED Talk about? I guess like that's boring. It would be a TV show. It'd be like Sex and the City or SVU. It'd be like or Bravo. It'd be one of my universes. But I'm trying to like tie like how watching TV. Okay, I know what it'll be. So like movies and TV helped me understand things I didn't. Like Veep really helped me understand the government in a way that was helpful. Succession for rich people. Don't Look Up. Like, I don't know. So maybe I would pick like shows that help you, that take complex, big things and make them simple, and how to use TV to better understand the world.
Whoa,
I think
okay,
that's what I would
interesting.
do.
Yeah, instead of just mind-numbing TV, like TV that actually like, oh, look, this is like you learning a thing.
Yeah, and it's entertaining. It's well written. It's funny. The characters are amazing, but like it's so grounded in reality that the people within it are like, yeah, that's what life is like.
So almost it's like the grown-up version of a children's TV show. You know what I mean? Where it's like you watch a children's TV show, it's the goal is for you to learn something, right? So it's like the adult version of that, which is like, yeah, we're going to teach you something, you're going to learn something. It's also going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's a good one.
That's what I would do.
Nice.
Cool. Do you answer or only me?
I mean, I guess I can answer. What would my TED Talk be on? Oh, that is a good one. Wow. I don't know if I have any. I mean, I can't just be comedy because
The rules of the Comedy Store.
the rules of sacred ground. Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, that's so funny because you know how much of a stickler I am. I guess it would just be about. I wouldn't say not giving up because then I guess it'd just be about like. If it was being about pursuing your dreams, and it'd be less about like getting obsessed with the grind and all that jazz, and more of like trying to have a purpose, right? Where it was like trying to figure out like accomplish small goals instead of setting huge goals, like stuff like that. More is like how to approach something instead of like just blindly just trying. You know what I mean? Like how, everyone's always like, how do you start stand up? And it's like, do you just move there? And it's like, well, no, you got to like make sure you're like stable. You have a job. You're able to like financially be good. And then you're able to like create and pursue and do the things and have the mindset of like, not have the mindset of like, oh, fuck, I'm struggling. I hope I have to make it now. Otherwise, like I'm fucked. It's like, no, you got to.
Well, yeah,
I
think starting comedy I like doing it. That's what I tell people. I'm like, go to open mics.
Yeah, just do it. It's fun.
Just do it, and then make friends with your peers and leave people alone.
Yeah, yeah. Don't try to fucking
make friends with your peers, and then eventually, you'll meet other. People will be like, oh, that person's funny, but. It's like stop bothering people that are 10 years in or something.
Oh my God.
Just like find your friends.
100%. I had a kid. It was so funny. I fucking feel so dumb saying kid, but it's the first time in my life that I felt like a senior in something. The guy came up to me and was like, what's something that you wish you could tell a younger you, blah, 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 blah. Or do you have any piece of advice of telling a kid that's like a year and a half or 2 years in? And I go, yeah. I was like, you're 2 years in now. In no time, you'll be 5 years in, and then you'll be 10, and then we'll be 20, and then before you know it, you'll be 30 years in. I was like, and then you realize how ridiculous of a question that is to ask me, because there's nothing I can give you that's going to make the experience of going through all that quicker. And I was like, if you care about it as much as you do now, and
but
trying
everything
to get better,
has changed. That's the thing. Like, I feel even that what we're saying is so old school, because it used to be about really like doing it and being good at comedy.
Now
and,
it's like filming it,
running
clipping
around.
it.
Yeah, it's different. It's about blowing up and doing theaters before you even have an hour to do a theater in. It's like it's kind of shifted. And how do I pop versus how do I
get good?
How do I get good consistently? But in person doesn't I wonder.
I still preach get good. I still preach just get good
And have fun, yeah. But
'cause I think
the
that's
world
gonna
has changed so much. It's weird.
I hope that supersedes everything. Like I hope being good at comedy
Long term. I always say you want to work forever. So it's like I hope whenever people make money, it's like amazing. But there's examples of people popping and never to be seen from again.
100%. Yeah.
It's like be nice and try to work forever. And that's when you don't rush, because it's like, what's the rush? Do you not want to be Joan Rivers?
I want to be Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
She's so great. All right. What family member do you take after the most, and do you think that's a good or a bad thing?
I always say I have the worst qualities of each of my parents. So I make up all of their horrors. So yeah, I think I'm like both of them. But I would say I'm closer to my mom, like in terms of flipping out.
Is it?
In terms of starting fights and flipping out?
Is that kind of the thing your mom did?
Yeah, she'd always come home from work and be like, I let him have it. I stood up in the meeting and said, go fuck yourself. Like she worked there for 25 years, but she always was so mad at someone.
Do you ever remember any like things like that? Because my mom would do that shit in public all the time, where like,
oh, not in public.
Oh my God.
Work. She would just like boil over. Or the thing is, it's like punishing yourself by trying to punish others. Well, then I'm not going. And it's like, okay, have fun in your room, psycho.
Yeah, I got ants like that.
So I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I've had a more luxurious life, so I've been able to do more self-retrospect. Like, I've been able to I had a professor call it navel gazing. You just get to like look inward.
Yeah.
Social psych professor. So like she had to work at a factory at night.
Whoa,
so
yeah, that's rough.
She's not gonna be like, oh, should I get something's up? I like scream and then don't leave my room for days. But keeps them 79, and so I can hopefully. I have more regulation.
Yeah, my mom, I love her to death, but she does not. I remember...
but I yelled at someone yesterday. I was about to kill Ian Fidance. Like, I truly was about to murder him.
When? At the pool?
On the way to the Springs.
Oh, you guys are all in the same car?
No, this is the thing. I ordered a Comfort.
Yeah, you told me I missed this. Because I was like, we'll just catch a car. And then I remember I saw you later and you're like, thank you for doing that.
Well, because then I had lots of grown men. It's like these comedy men. Who's there? What's going on? What exit are you in? What entrance? How are you getting? Can we care of it? Get a life. Are you not 45? Like, get the fuck away from me. But what happened was I ordered a Comfort thinking, more people. I should have gotten XL, whatever. So the guy immediately, even though there's seats for it, goes, I can only take 4. You ordered Comfort. I go, okay, where I live, you could have more. And then he was brown, so then it seemed anti-immigrant, but I meant like in New York. So I had to be like, no, like in New York. I'm sorry, but there was 2 extra seats, but there's 5 of us, so he's not letting us in. So then Ian's standing there. We had to plan the 4 of us already. So Ian goes, all right, well, let's get another car. And I go, I'm not canceling this car. And then everyone stands outside as I'm in the car. I go, okay, I guess I'll fucking go by myself. Okay, that's the better plan. And then people start piling in. And finally, Ian goes, I'll take a scooter. And I go, yeah. Like, or you go, hey, will one of you wait with me and I'll get another car? Like, we all have, like, I want to get to the fucking Barton Springs. It's already 2:45. Like, get me there. What? I'm going to cancel this ride. But also the driver's annoying. But like, you think we should all get out and I should cancel and have to pay this fee so we can get another car so you're not alone? You are mental. Like, I can't. Then I get there and another comic who I think's a little embarrassed, but he cracked open a beer and got immediately kicked out.
And what did I say? I was like, what is this, SNL?
Yes. So as we're walking in, we see him. He's like, I got kicked out. We already knew. He texted our friends. And he goes, wait with me while I take cover before I go back. And I go, no. He goes, just wait with me. No, I want to swim. Get the fuck out of my way. It was just like a fucking nightmare. It was just these grown men. And then I was getting texts being like, where are you? I'm like, pulling into Barton Springs. Who's there? I don't know, bitch. I'm pulling in. Do you want to swim or not? I don't know. I don't understand. Everyone was scared to go alone. Everyone was demanding what entrance and exit. And it was just like...
Be a problem solver. Don't give me more problems.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
And so I lost it because I was like...
It was
Ian, get out of the car.
It was so funny. I was like, I'm going to get an ice cream. And then I remember getting the ice cream. We're in line and you were like, you got to finish that before we get in. And I couldn't stop laughing. You were like, is that your dad? Is that what you're saying? That's your dad?
Well, I bought the ticket. I bought everyone's ticket, to keep it moving. I just wanted to get in the water. And so I get all the tickets. I give the ticket to Jared. I go, where's the ticket? He doesn't have the ticket.
That was great.
It's just like, I'm child free for a reason. Yeah. And it was just like, I guess these adults also cannot get it together.
Yeah.
But
we got there. We all dove off the driving
all men,
board.
Yes, they are all men. If you are counting, yeah, they were all men. They were all men who could not figure out how to get to a public pool on their own, which is an 8-minute car ride. Like, but that's why I thanked you when I saw you and Willie. I was like, thank you for fucking being able to get your own car.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, so are you going to get a bigger car for all of us? Like, sure.
Oh, I do want to point out this festival has been fun hanging out with a lot of people and getting to meet a lot of people. It's been fun fucking with people. I got Morgan J really good outside the airport. He was unpacking all of his stuff, loading it into the Suburban. I walked up, I was like, yo, dude, can I get a picture? And he turned around and he saw it was me, but he didn't realize it was me. He took like 3 steps towards me and was like, absolutely, man. So excited. Then he was like, oh, fuck. It was great. It was great.
It was. And we got to share a car with Maria Bamford to the hotel.
That was amazing. Was sharing a car with Maria Bamford was truly like, that was I've been such a big fan of her. It was kind of like, it was real cool. Like, first day of the festival, I get to hang out with Maria Bamford. That's insane. If I seen Janine Garofalo, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
I ignored her. I couldn't get it together, but I was in a green room with her last night.
I'm madly in love with Janine Garofalo.
She said bye to me, and I liked that. But I've met her before around New York, but it is just too much to handle for me. Margaret Cho's like that too. I just kind of can't behave.
Yeah, no, I'm
Bill Burr's like that to me. I really don't act normal.
So Attell's the same way.
I act normal with Attell.
That was
actually not true. I'm like, is there any? I'm like, I'll get that for you.
Yeah. That night outside of New York at the Comedy Cellar, that is a memory that I will hold dearly. And thank you for that. It was cool just being able to hang out with you two.
And didn't you get recognized?
I got recognized
in front
from
of Attell. Like
people at Gotham City because they saw me at that show earlier. And they came in and they're like, you did great. And I remember both of you guys looked at each other and then you looked at me and they're like, did you go up? And I was like, no, I went up earlier. And then it was just like, I remember he was just like, that feels good, right? Or he was like, nice. And I was like, yeah, fucking sick.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, that's my dad's favorite. He loves Attell. We used to watch Insomniac growing up. My dad was a big lush. Okay. What kind of gossip are you always invested in? And why is that the kind of gossip you're interested in?
Oh, that's such a good question. I'm interested in anything someone has to tell me. I have this story where one time someone was like, "Oh, I have gossip," but it was that like our friend relapsed and was on heroin again, and I go, "Oh, that's not like really gossip." So so I don't call it gossip, but I am someone that is open. Like if people come to me, I definitely
Chisme,
am like,
yeah. Mexicans call it chisme.
What does that mean?
Gossip.
Gossip,
Okay.
yeah, chisme.
But I'm open to listen, and when people are going through, like I will listen. And then what I enjoy the most, of course, is like sexy. What's sexy? Who's hooking up? Who's cheating? What's up? Like I want to know who's divorced. Oh my God, they started posting photos or separate or what's this hand or who is that or did you fuck this person?
Yeah.
I like that. And I like celeb stuff. So I like to know how celebs are behaving and what's going on. And so I would say like my favorite is celebs and sexy because it's fun. But I'm always like to be able to be that person, you also have to sometimes, I'm there for people. I'm always chatting. And then I live by, you have to keep secrets to get secrets.
Yeah.
So you have to prove some sort of silence and loyalty and know when you can gossip and tell and when you can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we definitely connect on is like when we hang out, we definitely fucking gossip. We talk so much shit.
But and I guess I enjoy talking shit about like the Nazis in our business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all the like incels and all these dudes that I think are losers. Like I wish I talked less about them because I want them to take up less space in my life and heart. But I truly hate them.
Yeah. Well, it is very interesting too because it's like I would say we both have similar opinions, and even the things we do disagree on, it's nice being able to have people that don't have different perspective than me. Even though I am like a kid from the Bay Area that grew up in the East Side, like at the core, it's like I'm always very I'm very left, I'm very liberal, right? But comedy wise, it's like I find myself just being such a hard-nosed guy about like, the things that I believe in, which is like the store and like fraternity and like grinding your way up and earning your respect and like paying your dues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's more of a conservative view of comedy, but not conservative in the view of like conservatives right or left, but just conservative in the view of like old school thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traditional.
Yeah. I guess traditional is more than conservative. Yeah. All right. What's a story from your childhood that you were embarrassed at the time, but now you think is hilarious?
Oh, my whole childhood's like an embarrassment, but I would say like my mom worked with this Guatemalan dude, and so us combined families, we would take trips together, and we drove in this giant ass van to Florida, and then like we did timeshare meetings to get free tickets to like the amusement parks, right? It was that kind of a vacation, and I had to pee, and my dad made me like get out of the van and pee behind like a post, not a tree, but like a big pole. But everyone could see in the van, like it wasn't wide enough to cover me peeing, so then everyone watched me pee. And I like hated that. Like so rude.
Oh my God, that's actually really, really funny.
Yeah. I would say that's the top one. That it's like I'm still mad at him though. It's like annoying. But
You ever bring
I'm
it
not
up?
embarrassed by it. I should next time really start a fight.
Yeah, dude, stir it up. Coming this Thanksgiving. All right, last one. When was the last time you cried, and what did you cry about?
I tear up a lot watching Instagrams. So it's like
I get that.
if a fucking kid and their new puppy are connecting, I'm tearing up. If you're coming home from the military and your
That gets me
brother's
every
at
time.
senior night at his basketball game, I'm gonna cry.
Dude, dad's coming home. You know what I mean? Like the thing where like the kid's got like the blindfold on, he's hitting a pinata because it's his birthday, and then they put his dad's in the military unit in the uniform, and he comes out, and then the kid takes the thing off, and he like loses his mind. That shit gets me every fucking time.
Yeah, but now the internet's so twisted. I'm like, are people making their kids cry? Like, what's going on? What's real? What's not? Is this reaction been practiced? It's like such darkness to all the light. There was a letter I just read, and it was the Bush twins wrote like a welcoming letter to the Obama girls. And it was just like so sweet and loving, and these tips, and like just, how much everything has changed. But it was like, I don't know, it was cute. It was like really cute advice, these older girls to these younger girls, and to enjoy everything and say yes, and how time will flow. I don't know. I'm like, it was really nice. And then I did cry Tuesday because my favorite Soul Cycle teacher in LA, Diego, he is leaving after 7 years. And I live in New York now, and I happened to be in town for his last Taylor Swift ride. And he only has like 3 rides left until he retires. So...
Whoa, he's retiring?
Like he's leaving. Yeah, he's leaving. So.
That was the other thing about the Soul Cycle that was amazing, was the lady that was like mirroring everybody, where you see like that lady has to do it perfectly every fucking class.
Well, yeah, usually the teacher's on the bike while they teach, so you follow them, but they get so tired they can't be like always riding bikes. They have to protect their knees and shit.
That's crazy.
But he played this like Taylor Swift song I don't really know, but it's like something about time to go. Oh, I do know that song. It was a song I'd never heard, really, and he was just like, I've watched all of you grow, and now it's my turn to like go and grow, and
that's such a. I said that was such a great line.
Yeah, and so of course I teared up a little thinking about that. But I'm out there. I'm crying. I'm crying.
I'm fucking crying, dog.
There's a comic who lost her brother recently, and every time I see anything she posts, I tear up.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, there's a lot of good and sad things. So I would say I'm crying in class and on the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Always on the internet.
That's the one thing about Hannah. She's always just like, have you cried today? Like, she's always like, you gotta make sure you cry, dude. Otherwise she's like, you bottle that shit up, you fucking get cancer. You gotta fucking, you gotta cry.
Yeah, I saw, feminist Liza, but I did see a meme I liked, and it said, when guys are like, oh, men aren't allowed to cry. And it's like, well, you're not allowed to hit women either, but you really overcame that. And I was like, that's smart. That's good. And that's a good point. Like, fucking cry. But I think it's because men care what other men would think of them more than they even care about beating. Like, men don't care if you hit your wife, it seems like.
Yeah, because this is weird. I think there's a weird understanding of, like, you'll see guys back in the day be like, well, you get it, right? And you're like, no, I'm not I don't gonna hit my wife.
I hate when you start talking to someone and then they'll say something so wild where you're like, was I giving off vibes that I was a safe person for that? Because
I get that being brown and not speaking, like having an accent, where like people will be like too comfortable, like, you're American, you get it. And I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. All right, dude. Yeah, wild shit. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, yeah. My Netflix special, Night Owl, is out. And I have a podcast called That's Messed Up, an SVU podcast, where we recap episodes of SVU and then deep dive in the true crimes they're based on. And we interview actors from the show as well.
Yeah. A great podcast. Thank you so much for coming. You truly have been one of my favorite friends. We had
fun. And I don't know if we've done a fest together.
No, this is the first fest we've ever done together. And you're truly, ever since we first met, like, you've been one of my favorite ones to just watch. Like, when you go up on stage, I would go in the room and watch, because you're like truly one of my favorite comics to watch. So I know I'm getting cheesy and stuff, but thank you for being such a great comic.
Thanks. I'm going to take the compliment.
Good.
A nightmare.
All right. Thank you so much. Shout out Call You Extracts. Thank you, Puffco. Thank you, Comedy Frequency. It's good to be back, guys. Have a good one.
To be frank.